Hey y'all, this is another Wizard Unite video to shorten my previous video, but specifically go on the or go on the Professor, or go on the Magizoologist. Here you go. Let's start with Or. It's a damage dealer with light defense and less health than other classes. It has unique charms. Now charms are the square buttons at the bottom. The green ones are for enhancements, for you or your allies. Impairments are for your foes. So you just click and drag and drop them to either your ally or to your foe. Alright, Aura has a weakening hex, which reduces damage by 50%. Bat-Bogey Hex, which reduces your foe's health by 3 points. Focus Charm transfers focus that you currently have from you to an ally of your choosing. Confusion Hex reduces foe's defense by 60%, foe's dodge rate by 60%, and foe's defense breach rate by 60%. Specialization talents include having plus 10 power versus foes when they have 50% or less health, plus 10% defense when foes have 50% or less health. You have a 35% crit rate versus foes that have 100% health. You have 35% crit bonus at 100% health and 100% crit rate versus foes, like crit power versus foes at 100% health. The difference in those two is one is the chance to crit, and the other one is how much bonus damage you have. 25% critical cash rate versus Death Eaters, and 20% extra protego power versus Dark Wizards. So that helps kind of defensively on Dark Wizards. Some keynotes is Auras have a base power of 100 once maxed out. Has a high crit rate versus foes with 100% health, so you want to hit them first before you do Bat-Bogey Hex. At the beginning of a match, you start with 4, so you want to give 3 of your focus to a Professor so they can do proficiency, which increases your damage versus your specific foes. Alrighty, now who fights what? Proficiency, neutral, deficiency. Ors are strong versus Dark Wizards and Death Eaters. They're neutral to Pixies and Werewolves. They are deficient to Earthlings and Acromantulas. Magizoologists are great versus Earthling Acromantulas, neutral to Dark Wizards, Death Eaters, and weak against Pixies and Werewolves. Professors are strong versus Pixies and Werewolves, neutral to Earthlings and Acromantulas, and weak to Dark Wizards and Death Eaters. Whew, that's a lot. Alright, this is going to be for the Aura class. Got my Discord up, so that's what's the overlay. So I'm Aura, I give 3 focus to the Professor. Currently there's a 5-star Werewolf, so I give a weakening hex to that. Nothing for me to fight realistically, so I do Bat-Bogey Hex onto Death Eater. Is that Death Eater? Yeah, Death Eater that another Aura is fighting. Just kind of waiting for something I could fight. Now, I left my AR on accidentally and didn't know how to turn it off at that point in time because as you can see, it's not on the entrance of when I encountered the foe. I realized it's when you click on a foe before entering, there's actually an AR option on the right. Anyway, I can't see it because I click so fast that I just don't notice. So I click, and it gets me into the mob. So I didn't know how to turn it off for a while. But if you just click once and wait, you'll see AR on and off. During that last go round, I did toss hexes around and confusion. Normally I go for confusion on like 4 or 5-star Dark Wizards, and then weakening hex on Death Eaters, weakening hex on Werewolves. Magizoologists, for the most part, if they're maxed out and they have a defense, they don't need weakening hex on Acromantula, because they're invincible at that point and they really take little damage. Even if they don't have a shield, they take little damage from spiders. So if you have extra focus at that point, give it to the Professor so they can do deterioration hex. Alright, so I got a lot of focus on this one. Give focus to Earthling, Dark Wizard, Think about the die soon. We'll see. I think there's a few mobs that already had hexes on them. That's why I didn't toss them out. Kind of failed on my part. Should have gave it to the professor. But I'm not sure if this was the round where they said they were max on energy or not. So, or everything was already deterioration hexed. But probably fell on my part. Should have gave it to the professor. Yeah, ton of focus this round. But this might have been one of the ones where I was probably paying more attention to the conversation we were having on Discord and not paying attention to the game as much. Now I'm just giving away focus to get rid of it, but they can't use it because everything's hexed. And I'm doing Bat-Bogey because it has deterioration hex, and yeah, just more damage, help knock out this spider. Victory. Alright, round number 2. Doing a dark 4. I think that was a dark 4. Alright, so giving 3 focus to the professor and confusion hex to the dark wizard. The reason I do this is because they have defense and defense breach, so that reduces that. So you see I just have got a shield, so that means they do less damage to me and I do more damage to them. Alright, checking the field, I put on the 5-star Earthling, I give a focus to Professor, and check the area. Now, Death Eaters don't do that much damage to me when I have a shield on, so I can fight it, but if I had a weakening hex, it would do even less. But since I have a shield, I'd rather use that focus to the Professor, or versus put it on a foe that actually needs an impairment, like 5-star werewolves, pixies, or Earthlings. Now there's a lot going on in this one. There's a lot of elites. I'm trying to drag and drop the stuff. Some stuff already has hexes. I believe we have another ore. Yeah, trust me. This was one of those nights where AR plus. I mean, it's okay, but you save battery when you don't use it. All right, trying to look and see what to put impairments on. Then when it looks like everything's kind of hexed, or then it's time to fight something. So I fought the Earthling just to get the 1 hit, just to do a little damage. Because I don't think there's a lot out there for me. Because I think I would have communicated, hey, res me if I need to be res, but there really isn't much for me. So I gave the rest of my focus to the professor so they can do deterioration hex on things. Now my first hit's a crit. Now I'm not proficient versus werewolves, but it did do a little damage. Probably like 250 maybe. Now I'm just doing Bat-Bogey Hex to do damage to help out my comrades. Yeah. Bat-Bogey, Bat-Bogey. And there's, like I said, everything's hexed, or impairment has an impairment that can be given, so I just have 2 focus. Sometimes I just give it away to people. But I completed that achievement for strategic spell, so victory. Alright, I think this might be the last ore match. Like I said, focus. There's two professors, I believe 2 ores. So one professor's doing the proficiency, another one's doing a shield. Currently, there are elites out. 4-star werewolf. Nothing for me per se. I'm kind of holding on the focus just in case the Magizu needs it, and I give it to the Magizu so they can pop the bravery. So now that bravery's up, people can start doing elites more efficiently. Still nothing for me, finally. Death Eater. Crit. Like I said, a tip is not to do Bat-Bogey on a mob before going into it, because if you do, that's 3 damage. That puts them at 99%, and you don't get the extra crit chance and crit power bonus. A lot of things have hexes, so I'm giving it to professors at this point. And I kind of usually save 1 for a hex just in case something for me spawns, so I can, what do you call it, fight it a little easier. Yep, not a lot for me. The beasts I'm weak to, they do a lot of damage to me, so yeah, kind of, we don't really hop on other mobs like this that have down arrows unless it's crunch time, and crunch time is like 2 minutes left. And usually that's when you want to pop like potions to help out. I recommend the small stimulo and the strong. Only time I would use a potent is if, for example, there's 5-star werewolf or acromantula and it's like a minute left. Maybe a minute 20. Alright. Okay, one more match, I guess. So, as I said at the beginning, focus for that proficiency, because I have to do another video to explain the calculations, but it's really worth it to get that proficiency up. La-di-da. Defense, proficiency, and weakening hex. Like I said, you can click the little squares and see what the tooltip of what they are. Bravery just went up. Put a hex on 3 things, 4 things. One hit, dead. Down for the count. But as you can see, I'm already resin alive because I explained that I had 1 hit left, so the Magizoologist was ready to revive me. So when I get out on my screen, I'm already up and ready to go back in. Communication is the key to a good teamwork and relationship, I hear. And it did a weird bug where I killed it and it didn't die, so I think I hit the X button, or the exit thing. I put my hexes up and give the rest of the focus to the professor. Depending on the scenario, it might be good to use weakening hex on dark wizards because they do hit hard. But to me, I'm more of offensive, so usually I go for the Confusion Hex to reduce their defense and damage towards me, but I feel like I can kill them before they kill me. So, and if I was playing defensively, I would do Weakening Hex first. And that's it. That's how you play Auror. As always, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, found it useful, like and subscribe. Any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Until the next one, peace.